Our clothing can transform. It can adapt. It can animate. It can move. It can change color. And all of these things through digital technology become possible, and that's something that fashion has never done before. I've always been very interested in the concept of possibility. I think that's one of the roles that artists and designers bring to the world, is to show people what's possible.
We really try to bring magic to everyday life. And how we bring this magic is by integrating microtechnology with really beautiful fashion design so that the clothes we wear can do something amazing.
From the beginning, we never designed things that were purely science fiction. We started with this idea that technology could be worn, that the new media tools of the digital age could make fashion more exciting.
We have different kinds of technology that we use in a CuteCircuit garment, and some of them are sensors, so they're invisible, but they're monitoring your body or your environment.
There's no wires. It's all constructed entirely out of smart textiles and conductive films.
When we started, these materials didn't exist, so we say, well, if this doesn't exist, we're just going to invent it.
We have a brain, which is a smart puck that belongs in the garment. And when you snap in this puck, it does everything. It provides the power, it provides the intelligence to the garment. And when you snap that out, you can recharge it while the garment's being washed.
I think that is really nice is that it's probably like the second product we designed, and every year we just create different designs and styles for it. And so this one is the new style.
Perfect.
And the thing that's really nice is that we incorporated the sequins and then the lights, and the lights and the sequins are just like laminated together, so the light diffuses really nicely.
Yeah.
And then there is a movement sensor, so every time you move, it can just like sparkle more and change color. It's made out of organic cotton, so it's very nice. It has actually zero carbon footprint.
Yeah.
It's rechargeable, and you can wash it.
So Ryan, tell me about this dress that I'm wearing now.
Sure, this is the latest version of the K dress, which is a short version of Katy Perry's dress that we did for her at the Met Gala. But the latest version now works with the mobile phone app. So I can actually, or you can control it with your own phone.
Okay.
And I'll show you, for example, I have a list of patterns here, like champagne, and if you see when I choose champagne, then the dress comes to life. And there's many different patterns that you can choose.
Oh wow. Yeah, this is definitely like club worthy. I love it. I mean, any type of celebration, this will be amazing.
The sound shirt, basically, we just converted all the inputs and outputs mapped to this software so that we can put microphones on stage with an orchestra, and while the orchestra performs, we can capture all the sounds of the different instruments and then map the instruments to the different parts of your shirt. So if the orchestra was playing and we were capturing the violin, then the sound of the violin would go up and down along your arms, and the drums would be going on your back. So basically you get this whole body sensation of like 360 degrees music and tactile sensations on your body. And that's what we designed for deaf people, to go and feel music. And this way you can actually have an audience that is really complete with different people and everybody can feel.
Music should be for everyone. Introducing this Sound Shirt, a wearable device that enables the deaf to experience a concert through touch sensations. After 6 months of development, we put it to the test. This is how it works. Microphones all over the stage cover the different types of instruments. A software converts the sound into data and sends it to the shirt, where 16 vibration motors pulsate with the intensity of the music. For example, the bass on the stomach and the violins along the arms. Several deaf people tested the shirt, and their reactions speak for themselves. The Sound Shirt, now available at the Young Symphonic Orchestra of Hamburg.
Okay, there was a nice introduction to Ryan Genz and Francesca Rosella, and there they are, live from London.
Hey!
Hello.
It's not Saturday night, but Thursday.
Great to see you both, and thank you so much for agreeing to do this. And boy, we're so happy it worked. Often at CES, technology kind of falls through the cracks, but so far so good. So we have a few minutes. We talked about a few things to talk about, and maybe we'll have a little time for some Q&A. But first off, maybe if one of you just wants to give a short, brief history of CuteCircuit.
Sure. Yeah, CuteCircuit was founded in 2004, but Francesca and I have been designing wearable technology together since 2001, actually. We met initially at a place called the Interaction Design Institute of Ivrea, which might be a name familiar to a few people in the audience. That's the world's first postgraduate interaction design program. And this is where we began to think about future technologies and how they could be integrated with design. And we both together were very interested in this idea of fashion taking on technology. You know, we looked at the world around us, and so many things were being revolutionized by technology, like entertainment, transportation, healthcare. But it really seemed like fashion was stuck in the past. But at the same time, it seemed like the coolest thing out there because it's close to your body, it's close to your person, and fashion is really always been about an interface with communicating with the world. But it was missing that digital component. How do you integrate what you wear in the fashion with your digital lifestyle? And we thought from the very beginning that was the concept of CuteCircuit. How do we make the clothes that we wear more expressive, more fun, and more integrated with the world around us?
And nowadays we have 3 collections. So we have a ready-to-wear collection, a haute couture collection, where we do beautiful garments on the red carpet. And then we have something we call special projects, where we design garments like the shirt that you just.
Okay, actually, so 2004 is when you guys started as a company. So that, you know, in the world of wearable technology, that's a long time ago. What do you see as the paramount changes between 2004 and 2019? I mean, there are a lot, but, you know.
Yeah, when we started, we told people we were designing fashion with wearable technology. They said, wearable, what? What's wearable technology? It was a word that wasn't on anybody's radar. And actually, when we very first started, when you Googled wearable technology, CuteCircuit was the very first hit. It was right at the top of the Google list. And of course, that has changed because there's all kinds of different types of wearable technology out there now. But I often tell people that when we began designing wearable technology, I personally hadn't seen any examples of it. The very first pieces of wearable technology I saw in my life were the pieces that we designed together.
Yeah, because something in the sense of wearable technology is something integrated into a garment, an actual textile garment that can be worn and used as a normal garment. Of course, we had seen things with like goggles and backpacks on there full of batteries, but we weren't going for that kind of wearable technology. We were trying to make it truly wearable and understandable.
Okay, and so here we are, 2019. What's the future look like for you guys? What do you see?
Well, I think one of the big changes since we started in the beginning is that in the very, very early days of wearable technology, everybody thought it was going to be about smart garments. And then we went through this phase where people didn't think garments had anything to do with wearable technology, and it was all about strapping things to your wrist. So we sort of went through that phase of wrist-worn interfaces. And now we're starting to see it come full circle again. Many of the market predictors and many of the designers we know are working with garments again. And we've always thought that's the most exciting frontier, really, because when you wear something, it really disappears from your consciousness. You know that it expresses something about you, but you don't really think about it. And so in that way, it's ideal as what we used to call the invisible interface. And that's probably a phrase that some interaction designers are still familiar with, making ambient interfaces in the Disappearing Computer project.
Yeah, and I think it definitely, like, we see a disappearing like in the very near future, of all these boxes that we have to carry with us every day. So we probably can get rid of our phones and cameras and all these other little boxes that we put in pockets, and then just have our garments have all these functionalities, and if you want, we can switch them on or off whenever they're needed. So I just think that's a matter of convenience, but also of aesthetics, that everything can be built into a garment.
One thing about phones, like everybody keeps a box in their pocket like this one, and it's a beautiful box. It's a well-designed little box, but ultimately people don't care so much about boxes, but people often do care very much about their clothes and how they present themselves to the world. And we often, just to make people imagine, say, as a thought exercise, imagine all the capabilities of the phone. Imagine you could have some of those capabilities without the phone. If they were just to magically come around you and provide you with those superpowers, how would that future be, and would that be appealing and exciting?
All right, well, I think we have a few minutes left here, so if anybody who has any questions, to ask them over there in London across the ocean. Here's one right down here. Mic is coming. I don't know if you'll hear this. If you don't, I'll repeat it to you.
Hi. Well, I think first of all that the video that you just showed and the shirt is amazing, and what's even more amazing is that it's already out there for the people to buy. So what's next? Besides making clothes fun, more beautiful, and up to date with technology, what else is there coming with, I don't know how to put it, more a social view maybe?
So if you're like imagining basically the sound shirt, and I think the sort of like orchestra to many people in the audience experience, actually the sound shirt, of which we have a specimen here. She's very pretty. Okay, besides being pretty, she's actually sort of the granddaughter of the hug shirt that probably you've heard about that was in 2002. And basically, hug shirt was to connect people, making them share hugs and touch sensations through haptics via the mobile phone network. So I think that we sort of like went forward, creating more and more complex garments. And now we're sort of going back to our origins, in which basically we have sound shirts that are also hug shirts. And so you can either have an orchestra playing music on your skin, or of course you can reach out and touch your friends. So I think it's interesting how, for us, Ryan was saying earlier, everything is coming full circle. I think also like on the design perspective, I think when we first started, iPhone didn't even exist. So imagine that we had to create an app to send apps over distance using a Java sandbox, which probably wasn't the nicest thing to do. So I think that now that, let's say, the mobile technology is more advanced, then also having wearables that connect people is a much more straightforward way of going about things.
I'd also like to say that's a really cool idea. I understand that deaf people typically, when they listen to music, they feel the vibration. So all you're doing is you're improving the resolution of the music for them. I really like that. So I guess I have two questions. One, where did the inspiration come from for that? And the other is, it seemed like there was a very specific setup for the shirt to work. Is there any plan to, or is it possible for you to make it more generalized and work without a specific setup, just with the clothes?
Yep. Okay, I'm going to answer the second question first, and the answer is yes. We're working on a second version that will be something that could work with a lot more types of media. Right now, the sound shirt works with an orchestra, so you need multi-part music to use version 1. But obviously, there's a lot more types of music out there that people want new ways to experience, and so that's definitely in the works. And it's something we're actively working on, so we may have new things to show you in 2019, for example. The inspiration behind the sound shirt. And as Francesca mentioned in the intro, actually the inspiration for the sound shirt was another product that we designed much earlier called the hug shirt. And the hug shirt was a shirt to send hugs from one person to another across the world. And we realized that when you're sending hugs, you could think of HUG, H-U-G, as an acronym, as a haptic user interface garment. And that kind of It sounds funny if you think of a hug shirt in that regard, but when you think about your mobile phone, you can send text, and you can send video, and you can send your voice, and you can send music, and you can send all of your, basically you can send all of your senses except touch. And that was the original inspiration behind the hug shirt. We were asking ourselves, why can't you send touch? It's one of the most important ways that people communicate with each other. We shake each other's hands, we pat each other on the back, you see a long-lost loved one, you give them a hug. Touch is extremely important, and through the research we also found out that you need something like between 40 and 50 touches a day, or people will just get depressed and they'll think to themselves, why am I sad? I don't understand why I'm sad. Everything's going great. And it might just be that you're missing that bit of human contact. And so in situations where there's somebody you care about and they don't happen to be with you in the room, there should be ways for us to reach out and touch somebody over distance.
And basically the thing that happened as soon as we showed the hug shirts, we started to be contacted by Blind People Association and Deaf People Association. Then they say, well, besides sending hugs, could we use this to communicate? Because of course I cannot listen to a phone call or I cannot type a text message, but definitely through touch I can communicate something. And we're like, yes, of course, it's another challenge for us. And so we had the chance to work with a symphoniker in Hamburg, and they have many members of the audience that are deaf, and sometimes people go to see the orchestra with their friends, and of course they feel the vibrations maybe through the floor, but that's not really scientific. It's very random. And so they say, well, can we try to use these hug shirts for sound? And like, okay, we accept this challenge. And we've been doing lots of experiments. One of the things that was most interesting for us is that how you transform the sound into touch sensation, and how we wrote the algorithms to make this happen basically almost real time. And we had some really great feedback from the deaf audience members that really helped us to develop the product.
And just to add one more thing, I don't know if anybody in the audience is involved in research and design or development of wearable technology. If you are, maybe one lesson that we've learned over the years is that we designed the hug shirt. It was initially for a particular purpose, but then when we realized other people could think of other uses for the hug shirt, we realized what we had designed was an open system. And for a wearable technology to be successful, it kind of has to have that kind of openness to it. If you design something, suppose you're working on a product right now, think of the product you're working on. When you design the thing, if it, at the end of the day, can only be used for one function, what you've designed is a gadget. But if it can be used for multiple functions, then you designed a tool, and that's much more powerful. So think about that when you're designing wearables, like how you're making the system open.
I wanted to send a special thank you to you both, Ryan and Francesca. These guys, we tried to work this out over the last few days, and we're like 8 or 9 hours apart, so we were early and they were late at night, et cetera, et cetera. Obviously it's dark there, but you guys saved yourself a long flight home, so.